Friday morning, you're basically broke. Again. But hey, payday's coming, so you're weirdly calm. You're already spending money that hasn't even landed yet. That's the first little problem. Then you miss the bus, because apparently being late costs 18 bucks now. You watch that number tick up and tell yourself, whatever, I get paid today. And there it is. Payday. Suddenly you don't feel broke. You feel dangerous. Your balance looks healthy for about 12 seconds, and honestly, you feel rich. So you upgrade the coffee, not a big deal. It's payday, right? Then breakfast joins the party, because coffee apparently gets lonely. Lunch comes around, and suddenly the regular meal feels a little too regular. Then you see a sale, and look, you weren't shopping. The sale found you. You try them on just to see. We both know how that story ends. Tap, done. No cash leaving your hand, so your brain barely feels it. Dinner with friends? Of course. You don't want to be the boring one checking prices. You add one more thing because everyone's having fun and tonight feels special. Then you get home and order food, while yesterday's food is literally in the fridge. A subscription renews. You forgot about it, but your bank definitely didn't. Then cloud storage takes its little bite. Quiet. Polite. Gone. You spend $4 in a game because $4 doesn't feel like money. Saturday starts with gas, snacks, and a bottle of water you already own at home. You pick Deluxe because basic suddenly sounds disrespectful to the car. Then comes the gadget you didn't know existed 5 minutes ago. At the store, half the cart is stuff that yelled at you from eye level. The jacket's only 4 payments, which is a beautiful way to hide the full price. You help someone out. That part's fine. You just never planned for it. Then the barber sells you a product like your hair has a business meeting. You're 2 minutes late, and boom, a parking ticket with perfect timing. That annoys you, so naturally you buy something sweet to recover financially. The medium costs too much, so you buy the large. Marketing wins another round. None of these charges look scary alone. Together? They're forming a small army. Sunday starts with scrolling, and somehow scrolling turns into owning a new lamp. You set it up, look left, and realize you already had basically the same thing. Then Monday hits. Your card declines over coffee. Now the math gets personal. You got paid 3 days ago. 3. And your money is almost gone. So you dump everything out like the missing money might be hiding under a receipt. You check the couch. 1 coin. Great. Financial recovery complete. Then you see it. Charge after charge after charge. Nothing huge, just nonstop. And you finally ask the question nobody likes asking. Where did all of it go? All right. No excuses. For 1 week, you're following every dollar like it owes you money. First move, print the damage. Because tiny phone numbers are way too easy to ignore. You grab 4 colors, needs, future, fun, and, yeah, the random nonsense category. Rent isn't the mystery, neither is electricity. Those bills are loud and honest. The quiet stuff is everywhere. Coffee, snacks, delivery, little convenience taxes all day long. That $12 meal somehow became 21. Fees, tips, and small order punishment. You do the monthly math and suddenly your harmless coffee has a part-time salary. Then you find the groceries you bought before ordering food anyway. That one hurts. You keep buying what you already have because checking the kitchen takes 30 seconds. Next up, subscriptions. The digital pets you keep feeding but never visit. You've paid 7 months for an app you forgot existed after day 4. 2 streaming apps, same comfort show, double rent for the same couch experience. And somehow you joined 2 gyms, like one body needed competing locations. The total isn't cute anymore. It's a real bill you accidentally built yourself. ATM fees, late fees, convenience fees, money charged for the privilege of losing money. Being unprepared has a price tag, and apparently you've been paying express shipping. Here's the weird part. Your spending spikes right after your worst days. Bad meeting? Your thumb opens a store before your brain even knows you're upset. That's not shopping. That's buying a 5-minute mood change. You're also paying to avoid saying, "That's not in my budget tonight." Nobody forced you. You just didn't want to look cheap. Different problem, same receipt. Sales don't save you money when you weren't buying anything in the first place. You take a picture and walk away. If you still care tomorrow, cool. Probably won't. This drawer is basically a museum of 5-minute excitement. Those tiny payments are all showing up together now. Future, you has been busy shopping. Some money disappears because your bills and paycheck are playing hide and seek. You don't just have a spending problem, you've got a timing problem too. Then there's branding. Same oats, fancier box, extra money for emotional typography. You try the cheaper one. Shockingly, breakfast survives. You're not thirsty for that drink. You're paying because planning feels less exciting. One tiny win. Not glamorous. Still money. That's the trick. Stop looking at today's price. Look at the monthly habit. $8 feels harmless. $2.40 every month starts looking like a choice. And there it is. Your money didn't vanish. You gave it 50 tiny exits. Needs were fine. Fun wasn't the villain. The leaks were unplanned, repeated, and invisible. You weren't missing one big secret. You were repeating 20 small decisions on autopilot. So no, you don't need to become a boring robot. You need a better setup. Because motivation disappears too. A decent system sticks around after the speech ends. Trap 1. Convenience. It's not evil, it's just expensive when it becomes your default. You're not banning coffee, you're just choosing when the fancy one is actually worth it. Lunch gets packed before you're hungry because hungry, you has zero negotiation skills. You put food where future you can see it. Very advanced technology. A shelf. And look, bringing lunch doesn't mean eating sadness alone under fluorescent lights. Trap 2. Recurring charges. The bills that survive because canceling feels mildly annoying. One gone. Took 20 seconds. You paid 7 months to avoid 20 seconds. You keep your favorite. This isn't punishment. It's just not paying twice for comfort. Another one gone. Your body doesn't need a diversified gym portfolio. Monthly numbers lie politely. Annual numbers walk in and slap the table. Trap 3. Lifestyle creep. Your stuff still works. Your eyes just met newer stuff. The upgrade is nice. You know what else is nice? Not adding another payment. You walk out, take a call, and surprise, the old phone continues being a phone. Then the car starts whispering. You work hard. You deserve heated everything. Meanwhile, your current car is outside, fully capable of moving you through space. You leave before the monthly payments start sounding normal. Same thing with housing. More income arrives, and suddenly your walls feel personally offensive. You're allowed to upgrade. Just don't let every raise get eaten before dinner. Trap 4. Emotional spending. Bad mood in, shopping bag out. You catch it this time. That shirt wasn't clothing. It was temporary emotional customer support. So you make a rule. Once wait one day. No dramatic debate, just a pause. 24 hours later, you don't even like it that much. Funny how that works. Then you stop keeping them all in your pocket beside the weather app. No email, no fake emergency. The jacket will survive without you. You add friction, just enough time for your brain to rejoin the transaction. Cash feels different. You actually see the budget getting smaller. And because you planned it, you enjoy it. No guilt, no financial hangover. Now the real fix? Give your money places to go before random stuff adopts it. Bills get covered. Future gets paid. Fun gets a number. Life gets a cushion. You separate bill money because seeing one giant balance makes everything look spendable. Yes, the name is cheesy. Cheesy still works. The transfer happens before you get creative. That's the whole point. You stop asking, can I afford this? And start asking, is it in this week's number? The buffer starts small. It doesn't need to look impressive. It needs to exist. You've finally built a system that doesn't require you to feel inspired every morning. Payday comes back. This time, the money starts moving before you do. Bills, future, spending, buffer, same paycheck, completely different landing. At first, it feels like you got paid less. You didn't. You just stopped lying to yourself. Your limit isn't a prison. It's the part you can spend without doing math at midnight. You shop with a list, which is boring right up until the total is lower. Not cheapest. Better value. There's a difference, and your stomach knows it. You still grab something fun. The system has room for being a person. Meal prep sounds miserable until you realize it can involve music and absolutely no talent. You don't plan every bite. You just make the expensive, lazy choice less automatic. Coffee takes 3 minutes at home. That's one leak closed before the day starts. You catch the bus this time. Tiny victory, saved fare, slightly damaged dignity. And now the ride is useful time instead of expensive panic. You check the number, not your mood. Today, lunch outfits. Cool. You don't order the fanciest thing just to prove your paycheck exists. Quick note. No spreadsheet ceremony, just enough awareness to stay awake. Wants go on a list now. A list doesn't charge interest or arrive in a box. Half the stuff looks ridiculous 7 days later. Past you had interesting taste. Then you start reversing old decisions. That chair becomes money again. You don't recycle it into another gadget. Straight to the cushion. The closet gets honest too. Some purchases barely survived one photo. It's not a fortune. It's proof that clutter has a cash value sometimes. You repair what's fixable, weirdly satisfying, and way cheaper than new season. They work. Nobody in the street calls the fashion police. You finally question the phone bill instead of treating it like weather. Turns out you were paying for features you couldn't explain. You check another bill, not for magic discounts, just to stop paying for stuff you don't use. Then you line up dates so the month stops jumping out from behind doors. 5 minutes. That's it. You don't need a weekly finance documentary. Bills okay, spending okay, future moved, done, go eat. The leaks still try. Now you catch them before they settle in. And when you mess up, you don't call yourself stupid. You look at what happened. Some weeks cost more. Adjusting isn't failure, pretending is. Fun money gets paid on purpose. That's why the plan doesn't feel like punishment. You buy something you actually like from someone you'll remember. Worth it. And somehow, spending with a limit feels calmer than spending with no clue. Leftover money doesn't disappear anymore. It gets a next move. The cushion is growing, slow but visible. That matters more than motivation quotes. For the first time, your money plan is finished before your whole evening disappears. Then real life tests the plan, because real life has excellent timing. The trip doesn't fit. Old you would say yes and panic later. So you offer something cheaper without writing a 12-page apology. And guess what? Everyone still comes. Nobody files a complaint about your budget. The day is great. Turns out memories don't check the hotel rate. Monday brings a sale email right when your brain wants an escape hatch. You delete it. Not heroic, just faster than regret. The new shoes still look good. Your current shoes also continue touching the ground. You move on. The urge peaks, complains, and leaves. Bad day again. Same trigger. But now you recognize the move. You spend the frustration somewhere else, preferably on a bag that doesn't ship tomorrow. A workout and a phone call fix more than the cart ever did. Dinner is basic, loud, and better than another delivery fee. Then your phone hits the floor. Of course it does. The plan needed a boss battle. Repair is annoying. Replacement is exciting. The difference is several $100s. You choose repair. 20 boring minutes saves months of payments. Same phone, new screen, tiny lesson about protective cases. Next surprise? Birthday. Not actually a surprise, but your budget used to treat it like one. You pick something personal instead of panic buying the most expensive box. It looks slightly homemade because, well, it is. That's the good part. Nobody asks for the receipt. Nobody checks whether you overspent. Then groceries jump. Cool. Apparently tomatoes have career goals now. You adjust without turning dinner into punishment. The plan bends. It doesn't break. That's what makes it usable. Late night. Everyone's ordering. Your prepared meal is sitting downstairs like a responsible nerd. You eat it. And honestly, responsible nerd tastes pretty good tonight. Now, cheapest isn't always smartest. You're soaked, tired, and the bus is 40 minutes away. So, you pay for the ride. Planned choices aren't leaks just because they cost money. That ride buys safety, rest, and time. Completely different from mindless spending. Same with laundry. This week, buying back 2 hours actually makes sense. You spend 30 to earn more and protect your evening. That trade is clear. Intentional convenience feels different because you know exactly what it replaced. The goal isn't spending nothing. It's knowing why the money left. End of the week and your balance isn't giving you a jump scare. Bills get paid from their own lane. No emergency puzzle, no midnight transfers. You're not rich. You're just not confused anymore. Huge difference. And that calm? That's what the random spending was pretending to buy. 1 month down. Not perfect. Just finally awake. 3 months pass, and the future account is finally starting to look real. An old subscription tries the door. Sorry, nobody lives here anymore. You stop donating $5 to random machines for handing you your own money. Late fees disappear when the bill gets handled before it turns dramatic. Then the car throws a warning light. Here we go. This repair is bigger than the buffer. Not fun. Also, not the end of the world. Watching savings go down hurts, even when that's literally what savings are for. You leave annoyed, but you leave without a new pile of debt. The chart drops. That's not failure. That's the system doing its job. You tighten things a little. No panic diet. Just a temporary reset. You sell something collecting dust instead of pretending the repair never happened. Old entertainment becomes new breathing room. Fair trade. You take one extra project, not forever, just enough to rebuild faster. Invoice sent, done. No hustle speech required. When the money lands, it already has a job. That's the new habit. Then comes the laptop. You can technically afford it now, which is dangerous. You check the actual problem instead of letting shiny screens diagnose your life. Turns out, you needed a battery, not a whole new identity. It runs fine. The upgrade can wait until it solves a real problem. Someone jokes, "Bro, are you broke now?" because you didn't buy the thing. You say, "Nah, I'm just done being surprised by my own money." You still go out. You still celebrate. The plan didn't cancel your personality. It was budgeted, so the night ends when the night ends. Not with regret. Then you start saving for a trip before booking it. Wild concept, apparently. The trip becomes a plan instead of a future credit card problem. Not every cheap lunch matters. This one does because it's connected to something you want. When booking day comes, the money's already waiting. That feels ridiculously good. No guilt, no debt hangover. Just a trip you actually own. 6 months later, your paycheck isn't bigger by magic. It just stays longer. No overdraft fees. That alone deserves a tiny parade. Balances are coming down. Savings are going up. Slowly, which is how real life usually works. A bank notification no longer feels like somebody kicked the door in. You remember that Monday coffee decline. Same window, completely different person. This time you buy it on purpose. That's the whole transformation. Money doesn't behave better because you yell at it. It stays when you assign it. And now you're ready to test the biggest moment. Payday, one more time. Same city, same temptations. New default settings. Friday comes back around. Same morning, same paycheck. Totally different feeling. Before leaving, you can already see where every part of the money went. Bills get theirs. Future gets paid. Buffer grows. Spending gets a clear number. You still buy the good coffee sometimes. The difference is, it's your choice now. One purchase doesn't open the floodgates anymore. You mix saving and enjoying instead of treating them like enemies. The shoes go on the list. Tomorrow, you can decide without today you shouting. The urge shows up. You don't wrestle it. You let it pass. Rent gets paid without stealing from groceries or your future. What you don't spend doesn't vanish. It rolls toward something better. You still go out. You just know the number before the menu arrives. And weirdly, knowing the limit makes the night easier, not smaller. Saturday arrives, and your money is still there. Honestly, it feels suspicious. Your stuff isn't brand new. It works. And your life somehow continues. Then the future account hits a number that used to feel impossible. Old you would spend the win. New you actually enjoys the win. You're still not perfect. You bought something dumb Tuesday. Welcome to being human. You catch it, learn from it, and move on. No dramatic self-hatred required. Here's the rule that changed everything. Every dollar needs a parking spot. Some money keeps the lights on. Easy. Some money protects the version of you who hasn't arrived yet. Some money should make life fun. Seriously. Keep that part. And some money used to disappear because nobody bothered giving it a job. Your money wasn't running away. It was leaving through doors you stopped noticing. Close the doors. Keep the fun. Build the cushion. Let the rest finally stay. That's why your money disappears so fast, and why it doesn't have to. Track every dollar for 7 days. Don't judge it, just follow it.